You know they got that same name, but different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
You don't
and
got
Keisha,
it, you
man.
can get some if you hurt them.
Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
You
and
don't got
Keisha,
it, you
man.
can get some if you hurt them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
All right, y'all, it's Mother's Day weekend.
It
and
is
we have
Mother's
two of the
Day.
finest sons here.
Whoop, whoop. Say hi.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's your name, man?
Oh, this DJ.
I'm Aiden.
All right, Aiden. We got DJ and Aiden in the house. And we thought because it's Mother's Day, we bring our sons on board and just kind of like, do a little something with our babies. Huh? What you think, Keisha?
I think, man, they over here tripping on us.
Oh, they said they're not
Listen,
babies.
I'm not.
man.
I'm not
What'd you say?
old,
I'm a
DJ
grown man.
Thomas.
Okay, all right.
I'm young. Aiden.
What you think, Aiden? You think your mama young?
No.
No. Aiden. Burn.
Sound effects.
What?
Some sound effects, some ad libs.
Okay, so we got some stuff we want to ask you young men.
Yes.
So we're going to ask y'all some questions about what's going on in America today. We want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So in the recent news, we've seen a couple of young men get tackled by the police, choked by the police, all for just being where they are. I mean, no weapons. They're not stealing. They're not beating anybody. They're just being. So what do y'all think about that? Who want to go first?
I mean, them kind of being my age and like seeing that, especially like, it's just kind of, especially them also being in fraternities and things that I see. Like I know these people, there's my age and everything. It's kind of like wow, like this could be me if I'm sitting at Waffle House or whatever. And I mean, of course, it's not right, and I think there should be justice. But at the end of the day, if you're being real about it, we're not really gonna have any because you can make all the laws and all the rules you want to, but you can't change the person that's behind the suit. So it's kind of like I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's kind of
A catch-22.
Yeah, catch-22.
But
Yeah,
guess
you
what,
gotta have the
DJ
cops,
Thomas? You can change it. That's why we got you young people. We're going to get
Yes.
y'all to spearhead this because it feels hopeless, but
Right.
it's not.
Especially for
Because-
black men, like you guys have been for generations, and then you got Ye coming out and making it even worse. And it's
Call
like,
his
hold on,
real
hold
name,
on, hold on.
Kunye.
Kunye.
Okay, hold on,
She
hold
calls
on.
him Kunye. Oh, you got something to say about that? Hold on, let's
Let
get
DJ do
Aiden's-
the, and DJ's a freshman in college. He just finished his first year.
Woohoo! On the dean's list, getting them good
So-
grades. Aiden's a sophomore in high school, or is he a
He's
freshman?
a freshman.
Okay,
in
so we
high
have a
school.
freshman in high school and a freshman in college. So Aiden, what do you think about that question?
I feel like it shows society are scared of young black men around the age of younger age, the 18 to 22.
Okay.
Where
And what do you mean by they scared? What does that mean though?
they just seem, there's always a threat.
Okay.
They always seem like they're a threat, even though they don't have anything carried.
Isn't that crazy? Like, I mean, because you're a guy, so when you're walking down the street or you hanging out or you doing whatever, and I'm asking this to both you and DJ, why do you think people are afraid of you?
I think it's what they see on TV.
It's the skin color, young men. It's
I
our
know
skin color.
it's like it's what they see on TV. Like even want to, yeah, the stereotypes what they see on TV. Whatever they see on TV, they think it's the truth. Like I've had friends ask me like, "Do you know how to rap?" Because most of the rappers are black, and I'm just kind of like, no. And I mean, yeah, I do play basketball, but of course, everybody always asks me if I play basketball, and like it even goes back to you're the first person picked because you're the black one. So I mean, like it's further stereotypes, but I mean it's the stereotypes, what they see on TV, what they see on other people. So
Okay, what you think about that, Aiden? Because you play soccer. Do you see a lot of men of color playing soccer?
Yeah, and I get called, no, yeah, but I get called like white and stuff.
Tell me why. I mean, like, what do you mean? Because you play soccer?
No. I went to a preparatory school. I didn't go to public school like most kids.
Okay.
I'm in like higher advanced classes.
Yeah.
So I don't
Because
get-
you smart,
yeah,
so
I
you
don't-
can only be white and smart. You
Yes.
can't be black and smart.
Yes.
That is a shame. That is so disrespectful. I mean, and the thing about it is that you guys have to grow up in a society. A couple of years ago, DJ had a situation where he was pulled over by the police right here in this area. And it was pretty rough. You know, he called me and was like, Mom, this cop is being pretty rude to me. You know, what do I need to do? And of course, his mama was putting it on, the shoes and everything headed to him. But he was leaving his girlfriend's house, and it was like an illegal stop. He told him he stopped him because he took off too fast from a stop sign. And that did something to him, because like all of the cops and the resource officers and people that he know, that I know, have been friends to our family. And here's the only reason why I feel like he did that and treated him that way was because he was black. And I marched down to the sheriff's office the next day. They had a person come out and talk to us. It was just this whole thing, and they end up using the video as a training thing, but it should not have gotten that way, because what if he wasn't a kid who had come from a place where his parents taught him to be respectful no matter what, and you know, and that's a little dehumanizing. He's a young man. He didn't have to be treated that way.
Well, and the sad part is being respect doesn't necessarily mean that you get to walk away with your life. We've seen too many men who were respectful.
There was just one yesterday. He was taking his little sister to prom, and they were outside the Waffle House. And that officer is huge. Like he was huge. Yeah, by his throat. Yeah,
it's disgusting. And the boy is saying, "Why are you touching me?" Because I have 3 sons, and I can tell you all 3 of them do not want to be touched by anybody, male, female, at all. And for
especially if I'm not doing anything to you. Like if I'm just standing, like he was just standing up against some glass, he didn't have his hand on nothing, and he grabbed him.
Grabbed him by his throat.
So, yeah.
And he was like, "You're touching me." And then what I read in the response was he shouldn't have said anything. Why can't he say anything?
That is his God-given right to say
why
something.
Can't he say anything?
That's
Don't
the
touch
thing.
me.
Yeah. What are you putting your hands on me for? Am I doing something
Am I
that
under
is-
arrest?
Yes, under arrest. Am I doing something that you need to put your hands on me? If not, what are you walking up from me? I can say and speak. That's my freedom. That's my right. But okay.
Whew.
So it's back to our sons, right? Okay.
Yes.
So we are so glad, of course, to have them here. And for those who may just start listening, we have our sons here with us because it's Mother's Day weekend, and we wanted to get their views on some things. So
I have a light question.
Okay, a light
Because I asked all 3 of my sons this. What is my favorite meal that they like for me to make for them?
Okay.
Aiden, what do you like for your mom to make for you?
Homemade hamburgers. You make the patties by hand and grill them.
Okay. What about you, DJ Thomas?
Super mom.
I think it had to be like the chicken Alfredo. I think that's what I asked for the most.
Because it's made from scratch.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what do you think the woman that you're going to choose to be with in your life, okay? What quality would you take from your mom to give to her?
Oh, we was just talking about this today. Okay. Like in my opinion, you don't need makeup to look pretty, but I mean you do wear it. My thing is, if you don't look the same when you take the makeup off and when you wear it, or if it's like a huge difference, I don't think I can do it. I don't like makeup that much.
So you saying your mom have natural beauty?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Aiden, how about you?
A girl that's not led through the nose by media, is blinded by media, like has her own opinion.
Okay.
Not just see something on Instagram or Facebook and just believe it. Like actually do research on it.
All right. Look at there. Smart. Oh my goodness.
Smart over here, baby.
Well, we're going to ask you guys one more question because we know, you know how you get young men between ages 16 and 22, as Aiden say, you know, they don't like to hang out with their mamas and have conversations, but it's Mother's Day, and if you had to just offer one thing that maybe a kid should either do for their mom or say to their mom or whatever, what would you say? Like, you know, what do you think would be a good Mother's Day gift?
Go, Aiden.
Just spending time with her out of the week, definitely on the weekend when they're busy, when they're not busy.
Okay. How about you, DJ?
No, that's the wrong answer.
Oh, wait a minute. Let that man
Tell the real answer. The real answer is hugs and kisses.
Oh. Okay, DJ, how about you?
I think it's probably the same. Like, even if I don't really want to do it, I'll just roll out and do it because I know that since I'm in college or whatever, you don't see me often. So I'll just do it even though I don't want to.
She been so lonely.
Like doing errands or something, and I'm in there playing a game or whatever. It'd be like, hey, come on, let's go to Walmart. Even though we're going to Walmart for like 5 or 6 minutes, I'll still go because I know I've been away.
Oh, he love him mama. You love your mama.
And your mama
Yes, I do.
loves shopping. Dragging
Okay,
folks.
guys, so we thank y'all so much for spending a couple of minutes with us, and we just we're very proud of you. I mean, me and Keisha talk about you guys a lot, and we have some amazing young men, and of course, we would never want to see the woes of this world get in the way of you being the best you can be. So we appreciate y'all, and we love y'all.
Yes, we do.
Give your mama a hug. Give me
Sugar
a
over
kiss.
here, boy. Give your mouth sugar.
I love you. Well, to our lovely listeners, it is episode number 6. Country Keisha, number 6.
What? We doing it, girl. We blowing up.
We are doing it. And we are going to come to you soon live on Facebook and Instagram. We're working on that to do a live show. She's kind of frowning up her face, but I know you
I'm
guys
not
want to be
for
able to call in and talk to us and leave some comments to our loyal listeners. So we're going to pick a very good time for you to call, for us to do the live show. So that's coming soon. We're going to try to do that before the end of the month.
Yeah, we got it going on.
Got it going on.
And it feels so good to be us.
Hey, got it going on. Got it going on.
And it feels so good to be us.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
So we need to recap. What are we talking
We're going
about?
to start with Ye, Coon Ye. Y'all call him what you want. I'm going to call him a coon.
Oh, he listen.
so
Let me
the-
tell you something.
Okay.
Before you start talking about Kanye, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
He needs some black aunties, some black sisters, some black women in his life.
He need Keisha and Keisha.
So,
Yes.
Ye, give us a call.
All right, we'll help you because you brother.
You know, he hang around a lot of brothers, and that one little chick he hanging around, that one little chick that's going
A
on.
lot of Kardashians.
No, because he got that one chick he was on TMZ with, but she just is jacked up too. I don't know who her mom is, but no disrespect, 'cause on Mother's Day, but no. Come on, Jay. Come on, sit down. You know how you be with Grandma and them, as they say? That's what he need to do.
I'm with you. What the consensus was he need black people.
He needs some black people.
He need to be surrounded by some real black people because in the beginning of his career, he was surrounded by real black people.
Yeah,
He lost
and
his mama.
and his mama. Because I
And-
think if his mama was still here, and a lot of people say that, and a lot of people say all kind of stuff. But some people, just like there are some men who can't be single. Like if they get a divorce, their wife die, they get married pretty quickly. Because some people just don't like being alone. They don't know how to function that well without
Yes.
having that.
It's not even about being alone.
Uh-huh.
It's about having people who speak the truth
Yeah, yeah.
around you.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay, so I mean, the difference is, and a lot of times that I think for people, everybody of course has an opinion, and I don't know. I think being God-fearing, I got to show love to everybody, and I'm not trying to not show love to Kanye. But what I am saying is that sometimes to whom much is given, much is required. And when you've been given as much as he have and much exposure to things, it's not that you're going against another race. You just need to learn how to respect and love yours. And that's big for me. You know, because there's room for everybody. And I tell my students, this is one thing I tell them. When they first come in the classroom and they're sitting there, and I was like, I got a secret. I just have to tell y'all this up front. And they be like, what, Miss Keisha? And I get real close to them. I go, I'm black. And they just start laughing. And I go, no, I need y'all to know that because this experience is going to be different than any other. Why? Because that's just the way it is. There's certain things that I might say or do or react to that's going to be different from another teacher. But that don't make it better. It's just different. And so Kanye needs to learn how to, he's going to have to come back and do better than what he's doing.
Well, it's the people you surround yourself with. And we're seeing basically who he surrounds himself with. A bunch of yes people, because you need people to tell you when you're out of order.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think he's getting that
'Cause
at all.
I
Just
promise
looking
you, I
at
be
his
telling you
wife's response.
When you out of order.
Yeah, girl, you know it. And I be in order all the time. I don't know what you be
You don't
talking
need
about.
that. You don't need none of that.
No, I don't need none of that. But I could tell by his wife's response that, he need a sister behind him.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that leads us to the next thing about being confident. And it don't matter what size, shape, or color you are or how old you are. I'm going to tell you, self-confidence is sexy than a mug. You hear me? And we didn't touch on it
Yes.
enough, but if you don't feel yourself that you're worthy, and that's crazy to me how so many people feel less than. And the people who making them feel less than ain't even all that.
Well, and I had an issue with two of my cousins. They are not big women, but we were going to do some beach stuff, and they kept saying, I'm not the right size. And I'm like, listen, what size are you looking for? Because if you think everybody on the beach is a 0, then you're sadly mistaken. You have to be okay with what size you are and enjoy yourself. You don't stop doing stuff because of your size. I mean, and that's the problem now. I think we're making the normalcy is a very small, petite size. Everybody can't be small and petite. Me and you are tall people.
Girl, let me tell you something. Don't
I can't be a
nobody
5'3"
like bones but a
Don't
dog.
I know? And
Okay.
guess what? And when I was skinny, I couldn't buy a date.
Well, you know what? It seems like the sisters are not as popular as they used to be.
That's not true.
It does. Like, I mean, a lot of, and I'm talking about not our age, but some of the young ladies are finding it hard. Like, even at the high school I teach at, to find dates, to be involved with people. It's really crazy how they just got this whole persona of, especially black women, you know, and just their, you know, oh, they got an attitude. No, they this, no, they that. And so a lot of guys shy away from them. And they find it hard for them to date. And that's the craziest thing because they come in all shapes and sizes. And I mean, beautiful in every way. And they still.
Well, I'm going to go with what Grandma and them used to say, if it's easy, it ain't worth it. And
you
if
better
the
know
sisters
it.
are definitely worth it. Trust and believe me that. We are worth
Yes. So what is this thing with Cardi B on Finesse? What do you mean?
it. It feels so good to be us.
feels so good
what?
to be
And
us.
she doing her thing, and
Got
I'm
it
like,
going
we're doing
on, got
our
it
thing.
going
Go
on.
Cardi, go Keisha, Keisha. Let's do this. It feels so good to be us.
Okay. Well, and Jesse Williams and the child support dilemma. I mean, here, we kind of touched on it, but I think just to recap on it, I feel like if them children are being taken care of, guess what? You could probably make millions if you just get your life.
I even think it's that. I keep saying it's a bitter woman syndrome.
Okay.
She's bitter. And I'm saying the thing is, stop using the court system to revenge him.
Okay.
And that's the thing. And what we said last week was, if you needed more money, ask him. You don't have to drag him to court. I don't see, I don't know what their relationship is, but I don't see him letting his kids go without. He's already paying 50 G's.
Yeah.
K's, what is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, right. It's still the point that he's definitely playing a lot. What you know, no good. It is time for our What You Know, No Good section. So, what you know, no good, Keisha, this week? What's popping?
Girl, I was looking at some of the highlights of the talk, and they started going in on DJ Khaled.
Okay.
Our girl E said, stop buying his music. She don't want you to
Really?
buy his music. And her and Cheryl Underwood was high-fiving. Talking about sisters dropped DJ Khaled. I was like, what happened? What'd he do?
What did he do, Keith? Talk to me.
Well, according to them, DJ Khaled said he don't go down on his wife, but his wife can go down on him.
So they want to stop listening to this man music because what he do with his wife?
Girl, did you hear? And that's what I said. I said, wait a minute, the talk, y'all need to come and listen to our girl Stephanie. Because Stephanie told y'all what go on between a man and a woman between 9 and 9:30 is their business.
Their business.
And if his
look,
wife ain't complaining,
what?
are y'all doing complaining?
Nothing.
If you're not sleeping with him, what's your problem?
Let me tell you something, because there's a bunch of women that will have it the other way and won't think twice of it. So is it because he a guy?
I don't know, because I'm sitting here going, don't buy his music. We boycotting everything? Look, sisters, I need us to really stay on point and stay focused.
Yeah.
We got the Me
Don't
Too.
water down our
We got the
boycotts.
Mute R. Kelly. We got the Bill Cosby scam.
Yeah.
What we don't need is this foolishness. What DJ Khaled do with his wife is DJ Khaled and his wife.
Okay, well, let's move on because we're going to let DJ Khaled and his wife do what they do.
Okay, but I'm going to go back to something else.
Okay.
Stephanie said, and we said it too, talk to your partner. DJ Khaled, stop telling everything.
Yeah.
You ain't got to tell everybody. That was nobody's business.
Nobody's business.
And if
'Cause
I
you've
was
been
his
with that
wife,
woman
I'd have
long
drop
enough.
kick him.
Yeah, you've been with that woman long enough to have a child and do all kind of stuff. So y'all been getting it in for a long
But
time.
nobody visit. I had a problem with Sarah and Russell Wilson saying that they were celibate until they got married. It was none of our business.
You know who else is celibate till they got married
Megan
too?
Good.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's none about. And get it? I get that you want to make a point. It don't make you better. It don't make you less.
Well, okay,
And-
so I think even in that instance, I might have to disagree with you because I think that they did it more, especially with making in their situation, as a kind of like standing up for their religious principles and saying that, you fall in love with somebody somebody that, and it doesn't have anything to do with sex, then you know you really love them and all that kind of stuff. So I have to people who are really, trying to live this Christian lifestyle, and, a lot of single people who are out here struggling and figuring, how to do different stuff. I think that might have helped some of them, because I don't think that was a bad thing. Now, DJ Khaled and his wife and blowjobs and doing all that kind of stuff.
No. This is the bad thing about it that I want you to receive, and the rest of our listening viewers to receive. It's none of our business. It's none of our business when you decide to have sex or not have sex. That's what I'm saying. Even if it's your religious right, you don't have to tell us that. So this is what I'm saying, is when you bring people into your personal space. That part of her and him dating was none of our business whether or not they were having sex or not. None of our business. And that's what, and I'm going to go back to what our sister girl Stephanie said. We've got to stop sharing so much that we...
I remember her saying that.
No, she did say that. She said what goes on between 9 and 9:30.
Okay, but you saying, now you adding stuff. What you keep sharing so much? What does that mean? Like, if these people want to say that, I don't think they had a problem with people's comments or anything about it. Now, I do agree. Look at that. Woo, woo, woo. Give me some. We agree.
I give it to you.
We got to get us a little bell when we do agree. It's Jesus. But I do agree with what you're saying about the people on the talking about banning the boys' music. So that's what we really started. It's like you going too far with doing all that. Now, if you have a comment about what he done said or whatever, that's one thing. But stop, to stop his flow and to get in that man's bank account and stuff because you don't like what he said, that you doing too much. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, going back to that, that's not the movement. But the other part is what I was trying to say is stop sharing so much of your personal.
Right, and I don't agree with that.
I mean, DJ Khaled didn't have to tell any of us this, and it wouldn't even be a discussion.
Yeah, that's true.
So moving right along, I guess we agree.
All right.
Oh, girl, you want me to come in on this one?
Okay, go ahead.
You know our new FLOTUS, City Keisha's new FLOTUS. Her name is Melania. Country Keisha don't recognize that heifer.
Let me tell you something.
She got a new campaign.
This is another thing we must agree upon, because I do not recognize a lot of that. I have to just turn the blind eye, because I promise you, some stuff I'm like,
Hey,
I can't
was trying to give it to you. You don't want it. Nobody want it.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Okay, so let me say this. She's got a new campaign. It's called, and you're an English teacher, right? Mm-hmm. Be best. What the hell does that mean? Look, let me say this. And former FLOTUS, Michelle Obama's campaign was be better.
Oh my God!
Okay,
she got that junk from her husband with his foolishness. And her English is no. You got to give her a pass. This is a little jacked up.
I'm not giving her no pass. Her husband don't give nobody no pass. But let me say this: one is an educated woman, and one is an uneducated woman. You pick which one. The be best.
How you know that woman ain't got
because we know it.
Oh, okay.
She's a public figure. What school she went to? Okay. Google what college she went to and got a degree. That's what I want to know.
Well, I will say this. You might be speaking on something when you say that. And I totally agree with the fact that they definitely do not stand up against each other. Academically, professionally, anything. They
Even
just
looks. I hated poor white people. She is not beautiful. Mm-hmm. And when you seen all her bits and lady parts, I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Mm-hmm. As a FLOTUS. I don't want to see all her bits.
But can you imagine her and 45 laying up in the bed and he was like, hey.
Stop.
Wait, he's
that's
like,
too far.
Wait.
TMI. Too far.
Listen. And he says, he was like, Melania, I have an idea.
He didn't say that. He didn't say Melania.
He's like, I got an idea for you. He was like, you know how when he looked like his teeth about to fall out of his mouth. And she was just like, what? I'm not giving you any sex. He's like, no. It's the campaign. I want you to say, be best.
That sounds like some ignorant shit he said.
We could do a little soap opera.
And the sad part is, if she was educated, she would have said, nah, that ain't gonna work for me, bro.
Right, because you know Michelle in that White House was putting it down, baby. She was like, come on, Barack, I love you.
I'm not copying off nobody else. I can come up with my own idea. But I'm sorry, Melania, she needed all the help she could get. So we're gonna thank former First Lady Michelle Obama for giving Melania a campaign. Because she needed, to help her. But honey, be best is horrible.
All right. Best. Well, I want people to be the best they can be with this natural hair.
You want people to be the best? Go, girl, with that natural hair.
Yes, I've kind of embraced my black girl magic, girl.
Well, this is the thing about natural hair. I take so many issues with this because a few years ago I was doing interviews for job positions, And I caught so much flack from sisters.
You did for
I
your
was
fro.
like,
For your fro,
"What?"
you sure
And
did.
they were like, "You're having
Everybody not
problems with
ready.
finding the right job because of your hair." And I was like, "But I was relaxed and I couldn't find a job." It ain't
Well,
the hair,
because,
boo-boo.
okay, so let's backtrack a little bit because I was in the mix on that, and I remember you calling me. And you were very upset because at that point, very educated, had went and got your master's, was looking into doing some different things
Yes.
and interviewing, and you were so excited about, hey, I got this master's, I'm gonna step into a new career field and do some stuff or advance my career field, and you called me, and I remember that phone call, and you were saying how this one person that we know mentioned it to you about your hair getting in the way, and so I had to take
Radical.
a second.
That
you
was
know,
the term that was used. I was radical.
Yeah, because I don't know, did you braid it down or you did something?
I
She
did a
wanted you to braid it
two-strand
down or
twist.
something. Yeah, she
Because
wanted
I
you-
sent you a picture of the
yeah,
two-strand twist.
and I had to think about that. Now at the time I wasn't natural and I was all on the creamy crack. So of course at this point I am fully natural, and I'm happy about it. I mean, you could like it or not like it. It don't bother me. I'm gonna do me, and it was so liberating and free. So I just want to say, for those women that I hear that are trying their best in the environments that they're in, and they want their hair to stop being the topic of discussion, y'all need to let it go, because this is the way this hair grow out my head, and there's
Thank you,
absolutely
Jesus.
nothing I can do about it. And as a matter of fact, I think it's amazing. Okay,
God created it.
God created it.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you this is that for me it was upsetting because I was being told by my own sisters that my hair was holding me back, and then I go into these interviews and I interview with white men.
Yes.
And they were saying stuff to me like. They really love my resume. They really love the way I interview, and it wasn't my hair. Nothing was wrong. They never even, and I know that it's taboo. They're not gonna say anything about my hair, but no one ever looked at me like, I know she's not coming here with this nappy hair. Honestly, I think for them it was for the ones that were interviewing me of a different race and a different gender. That I think they felt more proud to see it than people of the same race and the same gender. I got more flack from black women about natural hair, and the rest of they just thought, hey, it's her hair.
Wow, that's interesting.
And going back to back in the day with living single, remember when
Khadijah?
no, Max, the one.
Max, okay.
But Max, the one she was going with the guy. Whatever
Okay,
his name. Can't think of his name. But he thought he was not going to get a promotion, and the brother that was part of the supervising team told me it's because of his hair, because he had the baby dreads.
Right.
And he was telling me, you need to cut your hair off. And he was like, I'm not cutting my hair.
Right.
And then come to find out, it was the brother who had the problem. The white men did not care
Wow.
because he was bringing in money.
See?
And let me tell you something about white people.
Because I am not my
Green
hair, either
matters.
way it goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
not my hair. Whatever I just have to do with my hair, whatever hairstyle I have, my intellect, my abilities, my skill, my gifts, I'm not Samson. I don't get no strength from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a hairstyle just like anybody else.
Well, and then the other part to it is we have been so accustomed to European styles that when we wear our hair in a natural state, it's like taboo for women of color.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
look-
it was a lot for me. I'm not even kidding you.
I
When I
know,
first
'cause you
decided
know,
to do it,
I
I know
did.
y'all talked about me so
I
bad.
ain't
and
talking
that
about you,
day-
talking about me.
Well, I
And
know
was
I'm saying
like-
talked about me when I finally did it, because I gave you guys such a hard
Yes, you
time.
did.
I was a part of that thing too. And I'm gonna tell you, I remember waking up that next day and I shampooed my hair, and it was just kind of all over my head, and I put a little stuff in there, and I felt so liberated. Like, it was just so amazing.
Well, and one of the things for us, and that a lot of people don't understand, is to get straight hair, to get some of these styles, is so much manipulation. We go through a lot.
We do.
And I mean, we go through a lot in
Yeah.
our purses.
Yeah.
We go through a lot with chemicals and
And
things that you
time,
would-
and I can't reclaim my time from the hair
Okay,
salon. Okay,
oh my goodness.
that's the first thing.
Woo!
I'm reclaiming all my hair, my hair salon
I
time.
walk around with it now before I give up
What?
my. Yeah, I mean, we're at an age where my time is precious.
Yes, baby.
But the thing is, the other side for us is we want to look nice.
Mm-hmm.
A lot lot of people think if you go natural, you don't want to look nice. That's not true. And between Keisha and Keisha, we got to look nice.
What?
Okay,
Oh, so nice. Okay, so Matt Lauer apparently, what is this? He is.
Well, the NBC investigation happened, and guess what? NBC investigated themselves.
Really?
And guess what they found out?
What?
They did nothing wrong. They didn't know nothing.
About Matt?
Girl, what?
Now here's the deal, though.
Yeah,
What-
but they lying.
I get it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna investigate myself. That's what they
no,
did.
but when you say that, you bring it outside into the end to do that.
No,
You
they
investigate
didn't.
Yourself.
No, they didn't.
Don't say they didn't.
No, they didn't. That was the whole point of this is why this is ridiculous.
Okay.
They did not bring outside people in. They decided to go with their in-house investigation on themselves.
Well, but sometimes people do that.
No, but
sometimes
this
companies
is the
do that. They
critics.
have people that are what do they call, the quality control or whatever control or whatever the case may be, and will come in and they will. That's my job. So when something's going wrong, I take it to the executives and say, hey, this is this and this is that. So it's not far-fetched to see that, but in this instance, they probably should have sought something.
Well, and the problem being, and this is why it's being criticized, the problem being is that people have said that they went to HR on Matt
Okay.
Lauer. Remember, Ann said she went to, for another colleague,
Yeah.
that she went to HR. And according to this investigation, HR didn't know nothing about it. And you've got people that came out later saying, I knew he had to lock the doors. If he get you in there, he had a button that'll lock the door that wouldn't let you out. How y'all didn't know this man had all these contraptions in his office?
Listen, because somebody had to sign off on him putting it in there.
But according to them, they knew nothing about it, and they are free and clear. And this is where I said you got the hen guarding the hen house. This is the thing that happened with Me Too is we found that a lot of men were protecting other men.
Well, I mean,
And
we
this
got to
is what
know
this
the
is
good old, what they call it, the good old boys.
The
It's
good old
just in
boy
the
system.
South. Yeah.
But this is what we're saying. It's still happening, even at NBC. How you going to have a real investigation to hold people really accountable if you're not going to bring in someone from the outside?
Well, that's the truth.
But hey,
Okay, well, we're going to talk about some politics and news. And listen now, we
You
can't
got it,
spend the
girl.
whole
I'ma shut up. No,
time
that's
on
you.
your boy.
This your
I
baby.
get it, but we can't spend the whole time on your boy, okay? We just really can't. So apparently, Trump then got some loose lips and started talking about this whole deal with Korea. And you know how he gets real cocky with everything. Korea was like, hold up. Don't take our kindness for weakness now. We ain't giving up on all our power because we weak. We trying to come to an agreement because we want to, be peaceful. But you know how he do, and just this whole narcissistic behaviors that he have. And it's just, he go get them folks upset. And I'm not even laughing because, look, the backlash can be ridiculous for both sides. So.
Yeah, and it's the crazy leading the crazy. We got two crazies, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to upset North Korea, and I don't want this crazy man to get me any more upset than I am. So I mean, I don't know what to do. We just gonna hold on to our seats and watch this
Girl,
merry-go-round.
wait, McCain say he don't want Trump at his funeral. McCain say, I know I'm on my last days. I'm 80-some years old, and I'm
Got
70-some,
cancer.
got cancer.
Terminal.
Yes, and he was like, let me tell y'all something. There's some business I have to, shore up, and I'm going to be good. But the one thing I know, y'all better not have that man at my funeral.
Well, and I can't blame him because this is the same man that said that he don't respect anybody that got captured. I guess he only
Because you're weak because you get captured.
Yeah, POW, but I guess he don't respect people who actually get drafted and go into the service.
Because I want to believe your boy, if he would have served one day.
6 deferments. Seriously? We don't respect you
Yeah.
with your 6 deferments, with your bone spurs. Come on, man.
Okay. Did you hear about it at the University of Florida where they had to issue an apology situation because the kids, they say, the African American children were being pushed and shoved off the stage for celebrating because they'll do a little chant or step or something for their fraternities and sororities. And they said what they noticed
just
is that
plain
they said a lot of the students that were non-black that were doing it and doing their little cheer was nothing. And so they had to come out and issue an apology on that. But it's like, yeah.
This has been driving me crazy for years. When you go to a graduation, they're like, hold your applause to the end. And it's
Yeah.
like, these people are excited.
I know, but you know what? I have to
Let me
disagree with you.
No, let me finish.
Go ahead.
It's not the hoopla, but it's when you hold your applause to the end, and it's like you see them walk by, and it's like duh, duh, duh.
But you know what? I will tell you this. I think that that's respectful.
But no.
And here's why. Here's why. Because what if you had 30 people for you, right? And soon as you do it, everybody yelling and screaming. They don't know how to calm down. So the next kid, you don't even hear their name. And they could have just been him and his grandma, or just him and his aunt. I just feel like at some point you got to understand that, you know, it's a ceremony and everybody needs the same equal respect. Now listen, I went to my nephew's graduation and they did that. They were going to escort you out of there if you said or done anything. Now they had a point in the service where everybody cheered and yelled for their person and did their little air horns and showed all their stuff, and it was fine. But you got to hear everybody's name being called.
I am not against hearing everybody's name being called. We've had it for years where people got to cheer. And let me say this, people work hard for those degrees. People work hard for their degrees, and to sit there and you think people are going to be silent, I just didn't get it. And for the graduates and we're not talking about the audience, we're talking about the graduates that went across the stage. When the graduates went across the stage and they're excited, let them have their moment. Give them their 2 minutes, please.
But the 2 minutes take 5, because you got some ignorant folks that don't know how to be quiet and they keep yelling and screaming.
Ignorant. We're talking about going across the stage, not the audience. The ones who were going across the stage cheering. Okay. If they're going across the stage, let them have their minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, and I'm gonna say this the best way I know how. We are getting to the point where it's joyless and dull when we are let these kids and even some grown folks who are excited about getting their degrees. Yeah. It's like you can't be excited anymore, and we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. And I mean within reason. I know what you're saying. It can be out of order, but when it's out of order, you can say, "Hey, you're out of order. Bring it back in. Bring it back in, and keep going." But I find it dull when we all sit there and they go.
Well, and I'm not saying that they're. Well, then that's why you throw parties, you do all kind of stuff. You come up afterwards, and if they give you an opportunity where everybody can yell and scream and shout and do their thing, then absolutely. But the issue or the concern that I have is, like you said, I need just because the person who got called before me had 800 people that they yelling and screaming, and they not slowing down and wait for them to be quiet. Just call the next person because they got to get all 700 of those kids out of there.
That's not the issue for Florida.
No, not with that situation.
The issue was the students on stage were cheering for themselves and going across the stage. But and that's fine. But my thing is, we are getting to the point where and for them to reprimand them. Every time I go to these things, I see most of the black people quiet because they're waiting on us to do something. And then the white people are cheering and all out of order. And I'm looking around like, wait a minute. I thought they said we couldn't. And guess what happened? They do. And they don't get reprimanded. But the second that one of us start cheering, they calling the police. They got guns drawn, 45. You got a missile aim. It's like, for real.
And that's my thing. I feel
that's
like
ignorant.
It is ignorant, and everybody just it gets out of control. But anyway, here's something that was really ignorant. Do you hear me?
Girl, I'm
when I saw the picture of this 2-year-old baby's face. Ooh. Did you see that picture?
You forced me to see it, and I'm not happy about it.
His mama go to pick him up from the daycare in Indianapolis, and that baby looked like somebody done stumped all on his face. Like
Mike Tyson was in a boxing match.
And she said, the people there said he had gotten into a little scuffle with another 2-year-old. Ain't no 2-year-old did that to that baby, but I'm going to tell you something. When that mama hollered off and hit them, I would have shut the whole daycare down, baby. It wouldn't have been nobody left up in there. Everybody would have walked out there looking like my baby did. Do you hear me?
Girl, I'd have flipped that daycare baby on his head. Y'all will still be talking about this mama that flipped this daycare over on his head. Y'all need listen. When it comes to the babies, I don't understand people that harm babies. It makes no sense.
And then
tell lies.
Then 3-4 hours later, you wait till I come pick him up, knowing that he in some pain, because anybody could look at this baby and know he was in some pain.
Well, this happened to my Armand. He was very verbal when he was about 2 years old. And I had a roommate, which was my bestie, Tara, and he called her Gotti. But on the way to daycare. He said, Tara hit me. Tara hit me. And I said, well, what did you do wrong? Why would Tara hit you? And, you know, I was like, did you do something wrong? And then I was like, Tara, you hit him? And she was like, no. But he doesn't call her Tara. It was a lady at the daycare named Tara hitting my child. I need to know who this damn Tara is. And I need you to bring her out here. Because I need to know why you hitting my child. For what?
Girl.
For what?
All I know is that would not have ended well for anybody.
Yeah.
And then whoever was the sacrificial lamb that brought the baby to her, regardless if she was involved in it or not, she got stolen, and I don't feel sorry for her because nobody should have bought that baby. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
What's up with the New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman?
girl.
And he a Democrat.
Wait a minute, and they said that they said he drove to look Jesus Day and be smacking these women.
Well,
He smacked this woman so hard across her face, her eardrum pierced it. Do you hear me? And she said that she told me something she didn't even know. Like she said, it was not even something that she could prepare for or anything. He just walked up to her and was like, wow.
I heard they were doing S&M.
Oh God, that's even worse.
But, I mean, I heard it was consensual between two people. They were having some rough sex. That's what I heard. What you
Listen,
heard?
I heard that this happened even outside of that. Like there were women who he worked with that he hollered off and knocked the stew out of. Like this dude was just, I guess he must have got off on swinging on women. I don't know.
But you know he was one of the biggest foes for Trump. You know, he was one of the ones that was going after Trump and some of the laws and stuff he made for New York against Muslims. So,
No,
Yeah.
like you said, it does not warn him.
no. I'm
nobody.
not saying that. I'm saying that I heard it was S&M. And it was consensual.
well, he didn't resign and keep.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
like, come
resigned
on.
because he said of his sexual activities that had nothing to do with work. But that's what I heard.
Hey, wait a minute. Have you seen Childish Gambino's new video?
This is America. Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry for screaming, but this is America.
Okay.
So
Wait a minute.
So what you got on?
Okay, girl.
I lost my hair.
You lost your hat.
No, I
Okay,
lost my
you lost
hair.
your hair. Okay, so Thursday.
What you? So I was
Okay.
watching this video where they were breaking it down.
All right.
And
Wait
telling
a
all
minute,
the things.
what?
Yeah, they was like, this is deep. So
Okay.
you know when he shoot the lady, shoot the
man,
man in the head, and he politely put the gun on the satin pillow, and what they were saying, it symbolizes that the man on the floor didn't mean anything, but the gun on the satin pillow was everything. We idolize guns and not human life.
That's deep.
Deep. Is that brother deep? What Atlanta?
But listen though, let's go back before he even did that, right?
Yeah.
So he came in, he was doing his little
Yeah, we got to get that down. We got to do that dance. That's going down. Keisha,
So he had the
Keisha,
little
what?
dance. But think about the pants he had on. They look kind of slavish. Like
Well-
that was the ones, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I heard. I heard he didn't wear a shirt so you could see his black skin. He was making sure that black skin was on display.
Okay, but his face is black too now. You
No,
ain't
I'm
got
just saying, a brother without a shirt.
But what I'm saying is like these nude pants that he had on in the whole time, like he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they looked like those slave pants from the Roots.
Slave pants.
From Roots. I promise you, take a
I
look
ain't
at it
never
again.
seen
All
no
right,
slave
all right.
pants from no
all right,
Roots.
all right, I'm
Roots
telling you.
ain't had no
Yeah,
zipper
they
and
did.
button.
It wasn't no zipping button.
No, I'm playing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, go ahead.
So he does that, right? So then he goes and he like dances with the kids, know all the new stuff. And I said, see how our children are so blinded by the fact that they too busy
Yes.
trying to be, you know, get 1 million likes and be out here, I'm so cute, and dancing and doing things that you're not realizing that they, you know, just
Where
like,
the chaos is going on.
Yeah.
While they're doing the dancing and I call it the jiving and the jerking and the putting on the show, all this chaos in the video is going on behind them. You see smoke, you see people running, but we're dancing and jiving this man is speaking about America. Look at America.
And you got to think about that, but that's been happening for years. Even back during the Jim Crow days, different stuff like that, you had the blackface. You had the people who sung and danced and masked and get out there and blah, 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 blah.
But they
and all your
survived,
people are
yeah.
being oppressed and all this stuff that, you know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
it
he
was
just-
a survival
Where's
thing.
the movement? Where is the progression in all of this? Because it just seems like all we've done is like updated the music and changed a few things, but I mean...
Well, and then it's the thing, you got some people that don't know they free. They still in slave mentality. Well, and then going back to another part of the video where he shoot the choir with the AK-47, I don't know what. And some people was thinking about Charleston, South Carolina, the people in the church. And it's just that, I mean, the thing that I need people to understand from This Is America, we are not recognizing black lives as human beings. We are looking at black lives as dispensable, and that's not true.
And then it's never been. Hey, how about Jada Pinkett Smith? And she's got this new Facebook
Live
thing.
yeah, video.
And she showed a conversation between her and Will's wife, ex-wife. Yeah,
Cheryl
And
Fletcher.
did you watch it? I watched the whole thing.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
You did?
but yeah.
It was really interesting. I got to watch the whole thing. First, her baby girl had on a shirt with boobs on it. Which was interesting, and then her mom was there. Her mom talked about something. What?
Leave that girl alone. Rihanna got all her titties out. Nobody cares. Her parents.
No, it wasn't her boobs were now.
No, I'm saying Rihanna got all her titties out. And who where her parents at? This girl got a picture of some titties, okay? Go ahead. Whatever. But the gist of this Jada Pinkett Smith, and what she did was she apologized to the first wife because she was dating Will when he was still married. I think they were in the process of divorcing, but they were
That's
still...
not what she said.
Well,
No, she apologized because she said that she expected this kumbaya moment when she became the wife and she was the stepmom and all this kind of stuff. And she said she did not realize that it was still a process that the ex-wife was going through to let go of Will. So she wanted her to come and they all join together and have these cool moments, and she wasn't giving her that time to go through her process. And then the other thing was that I enjoyed the fact that when they were talking and she was sharing and she was just saying how she realized when his son had accepted her. But it was just really something that was interesting for them to be able to talk as real women without yelling and screaming at each other like the housewives or doing any of that kind of stuff.
Well, one of the things that Jada, that I read that Jada said is that she regret dating Will while he was still married to Sheree. I think her name's Sheree. Yeah. And so...
Yeah, and she admitted that she walked out on him. So I
but
don't
they were still married.
finish what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, what I was saying was Jada on her side said that she regretted dating him while he was still married. Yeah, and I think that's something we were saying about side chicks, wives, and husbands, that Jada probably would never consider herself a side chick, but the thing was, when he's still married, we've got to let the divorce happen first
Right.
before you go on to the next part of a relationship.
Okay. Well, Meek Mills is back in the news. He was talking about that Starbucks incident, and he's trying to change the laws in Philadelphia because he says that if he had come in contact with the police, if he had been the one in the Starbucks and the police walked in there, just by coming in contact with him, he would have been, regardless if he's guilty or innocent, his probation would have been revoked and he would have had to go back to jail for 2 years. And even though publicly, all this kind of stuff, but because you come in contact with the police.
And
So
that's just ignorant. They say, who made that law?
Yeah.
This is why I tell y'all need to vote. And you need to know what people are doing in legislation. Because we're sitting around here being stupid, and these people are coming up with laws to keep you under.
Yeah.
So we need to stop allowing this to happen to us. I mean, our boys was on earlier, and they were saying how hopeless it is. It's not hopeless. We need to get people in there who are going to work to make things better.
Yep.
And what we're doing is we're not getting involved enough. And when you're not getting involved, you're getting the 1% running everything.
That is true. All right, so dear daughter-in-law, Dear future daughter-in-law, dear future daughter-in-law. Okay, so here's our advice this week, or my advice, I should say. Always get to know yourself over and over again. You change about every 5 to 10 years, and your tastes change, your feelings change, how you think about stuff change, and so you grow, you know? So in that effort of you growing, you have to also know that your spouse, be it my son, will also grow. And in order to grow, you got to have space. So sometimes you're going to have to open up a little space to give them an opportunity to grow, and for you to do it as well. And that comes, like we've been talking about from the very beginning, having great communication. The more you can communicate, the better it can be. Like, babe, you know, I just feel like I'm in this space and I'm growing and I'm trying to figure some things out. I want to make sure I leave room for you, but right now I need to be selfish enough to kind of see where I am with stuff.
I don't know, that scared me. Blackish just scared me. I just watched this week episode. Girl, I ain't with this space.
I don't think they done.
Yeah, I know they're not, but I'm just saying it's really depressing. Blackish was my pickup, and now I'm like depressed.
Well, Blackish was always trying to deal with real issues, and you know,
But they were funny, Keisha.
but with the divorce
This
rate
is
the
not
way it
funny.
is,
This
and
is
different
sad.
things.
Junior crying, everybody crying.
Yeah.
Zoe's crying.
Yeah, Junior let them
Diane is
have
crying.
it. Yeah.
Girl, come on.
Yeah, Junior let them have it. He was like, "Stop lying
He
to me."
threw that watch, girl.
Yeah.
I just woo.
And it's just, you know, like you said, I was talking about this to a friend of mine, and I was just telling her, I was like, sometimes the selfishness that you don't realize that you exhibit, because when they got caught up in that argument at that time and the family all turned around, and I granted, you know, it was being real, but at the same time, it's like sometimes you can be selfish and wanting just your needs met, to where you've brought all these children in this world. You've done a lot of things that affect a lot of people, and you can't be selfish.
Well, the sad part about it is that what they both said was that they didn't realize that they were arguing in front of people. It had gotten that bad that they forgot that they were in a room full of people. They had never done that.
Yeah.
Just be nasty to each other in front of everybody. So that was the other part. That
Yeah.
was, you know.
And the kids take it hard because
and the
they got two parents.
They
They
couldn't
love
even hide
them.
it. They couldn't even hide it anymore.
Yeah.
But moving right along.
Okay. So what
Hey,
is
Black child.
Hey, Black child. You can be what you want to be.
Do what you want to do.
Yes, Black child.
Except go against the police.
Oh, because yes, our Black
Well,
children.
I had a thing I wanted to make sure the black kids know, because civil rights era is, I know they think it's old, but it's not so long ago. It's not so far back in the future. It was 1963.
Yeah.
Thomas Edwin Blayton Jr. was convicted of the Birmingham church bomb that killed 4 black girls. Well, today he's still alive, and now he's up for probation.
Parole or probation?
He's up for probation to get out of jail.
Parole.
Okay,
Okay. I'm just trying to figure. You say probation. I'm like,
that's not the same.
no.
What's probation?
Parole is when you have been in jail, in prison, and they're going to release you.
On probation. Yes.
You're not being released on probation.
Hey, no, on probation. You be on probation.
That's
they're
not-
gonna,
that's
they're not
not-
gonna release you free and clear.
Okay,
you
keep
break
going,
into
keep
those
going.
rules, you go back to jail.
Keep going.
Okay. In 1963, he was a young KKK member that hated blacks. Remember our history, and remember these folks are still alive, and they have family members that believe in hatred towards people of color.
Well, and that's kind of what our boys was just saying.
Yes.
It's not, you can change a whole bunch of laws and rules and everything, but you can't change somebody's mind. You just can't.
Yes, you
If
can.
no, you can't. If
I'm
somebody
gonna
got
tell you
hate
how.
in their heart,
I'm gonna tell you how.
Well, how?
They need to be exposed. See, let me tell you about white
If you
supremacists.
expose them, they don't
Let
care.
me tell you about white supremacists.
Okay, because you
They
know
say-
them,
oh,
right?
yeah, I know them. Girl, I came from the backwater woods in the country.
Okay.
Let me tell you about them. They stick to themselves. They don't want to be exposed to black people. Once they get exposed to you and your culture, and it becomes something that they're used to.
Or you're
they're
saying
not so
exposed in
afraid.
that way. I'm thinking
Yeah,
exposed like uncovered.
Yeah,
and
that's
and
what
I
I'm
know
saying.
you're white supremacist.
No.
You're talking about them having to
Integrate.
interact.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
they change. That's how you change them. But the problem is they stick to themselves and they don't want to get involved with you, because then they might consider you as a human being. Right now they can go with the stereotypes.
Okay.
And that's some of what's going on with
All
them.
right.
Do y'all need some finances advice? Well, guess what? Country Keisha gonna bring it. Let's go ahead and let me clear up something that happened last week when I was discussing about owning a home versus renting. Let me clear that up. I don't mean that you shouldn't own a home. I'm saying you shouldn't own a home when you can't afford it, because some of the things that we need to understand about owning a home, just because you can make a mortgage don't mean you can make the maintenance, don't mean you can make the insurance, don't mean that you know what you're doing, don't mean that you have the down payment. So what I'm saying is rent till you can afford it and own the home. So I hope I cleared that up. The other thing is we need to get real about our spending habits. Emotional spending versus wants versus needs. We need to start telling ourselves, do we need this? If you don't need it, don't buy it. And then we need to declutter our lives. If you got a house full of stuff, that means that you are overspending. But that goes where you can save some money. Now go on to education. You ain't got nothing to say.
I ain't got, okay, I'm gonna let it go. All right, how do we set our children up for a future at the academics, after high school? You know, how do we, and even in college, how do we prepare our kids for what they're gonna do after high school, and also what they're gonna do after college? So there are some kids who go to college, spend all this money, get a degree, get out, and they're home for months and months and months at a time, or working some job that doesn't have anything to do with what their profession is or whatever. So we have to understand that no longer can we continue to let kids come home in the summer and work at the ice cream shop and hang out at the house. You need to be seeking out these interns. You need to be on top of it. So I just think no matter what it is, if it's paid or unpaid internship, if it's working in an area or a field or volunteer for certain projects or whatever, those type of things is what you want to put in your resume, because people no longer just want to know that you have a degree and you've gone to school. That's amazing, but you got to have something to back it up. So we just want to make sure our kids, especially out of college, are being prepared and have a job. The other thing, when you're leaving high school, you know, these kids are scared, parents, and you can't just leave it up to them and say, oh, they didn't, oh, they didn't, oh, they did. You have to get involved, and you have to make sure that whatever that next step is, you know how many kids I help because they don't have the support at home, and I know tons of people who have support at home that can help these children, and you think you need to be leaving it up to them. I'm just saying, let's get involved, guys. Let's make sure our kids are being set up for success.
Yes.
All right, so last little part. Anybody got time for that? That daily road rage when that dude just killed that man.
Oh my goodness.
They were driving, they got so pissy at each other, pulled over. When they pulled over, they got out the car and the people saw them arguing, and he just straight killed them. And then got back in his car and left. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Just a murdering fool.
And now those
Vapors.
Them vape is exploding.
I heard, girl, I heard people saying they haven't did enough research on these things while y'all over there sucking on
And
them.
I'm gonna tell you, all these children at school that have them, they know how to get, and they saying that they're trying to get rid of the packaging because it looks like vape candy. These people know that. They marketing this stuff to the right thing. So ain't nobody got time for that.
From the outhouse?
I cannot stand you to the penthouse. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This episode with this one, I try to stay within our confines of doing this in 1 hour, but no. But anyway, we're gonna see you guys next time for episode number 7. And remember, we're gonna be live soon, so get ready because you're gonna be able to call in and ask us some questions. Keisha and Keisha out.
Two different point of views with the same name. Stop. What they name is